No one expected it to begin this way. Not with a quiet moment. Not with a stage press release. Not even with a blurry fan cam leak. It started with a pause, an unusual silence that fans across Asia, the United States, and beyond felt before they could explain it. For days, Sukai's public appearances had subtly changed. His smiles lingered longer. His eyes searched rooms instead of cameras, and those closest to him noticed something was building beneath the surface. Then came the night that would quietly rewrite everything. According to multiple insiders, the gathering was meant to be ordinary, an intimate industry event with familiar faces, soft lighting, and the kind of polite laughter that rarely carries real meaning. Songyun arrived later than expected, dressed simply, avoiding attention the way she often does when she wants the moment to belong to someone else. What no one realized at the time was that the room itself had been carefully chosen, not for glamour, but for memory. Witnesses described Sukai as unusually calm that evening. Not nervous, not distracted, calm in a way that suggested certainty. He barely touched his drink. He listened more than he spoke. And when Songyun finally sat beside him, something shifted so subtly that only those watching closely noticed. The way his posture straightened, the way his fingers tapped once against the table and then stopped. What happened next was not captured on official cameras. Sources say Sukai stood up unexpectedly, drawing brief confusion from guests who assumed he was making a toast. But there was no glass raised, no joke to soften the moment. Instead, he spoke her name, just her name. The room went quiet in a way that felt instinctive, as if everyone sensed they were about to witness something they were never meant to see. Songyun looked up, startled. Those close enough noticed her expression change, not surprise alone, but recognition, as though something deeply personal had just been confirmed without words. Sukai's voice, described as steady but low, carried across the room. He didn't speak like an actor delivering lines. He spoke like a man choosing honesty over timing. Insiders refused to repeat his exact words, but they all agree on one detail. This was not rehearsed romance. There were no grand metaphors, no exaggerated promises. Instead, he spoke about years, about growing alongside someone, about quiet support when cameras weren't watching, about choosing one person again and again in silence. Then, in a moment that would later fracture the fandom into disbelief and awe, Sukai reached into his jacket. Gasps followed. Someone reportedly whispered her name again, as if saying it might slow time. Songyun's hands moved instinctively to her mouth, her eyes filling before the object was even fully visible. What emerged was not flashy, not oversized. A ring chosen not for spectacle, but meaning. Those who saw it insist the room felt suspended. No applause, no phones raised, just breath held collectively as Sukai lowered himself slightly, not dramatically, but enough to make the intention unmistakable. Songyun did not answer immediately. This detail has fueled endless speculation. Some claim she laughed through tears. Others insist she shook her head at first, not in refusal, but disbelief. One insider described her reaction as a battle between joy and the weight of reality. For several seconds, the world waited with her. When she finally spoke, her voice was too soft for most to hear. But Sukai smiled, fully, freely, like someone who had already received his answer long before the question was asked. What happened after was quiet chaos. Management teams moved quickly. Guests were gently ushered away. Phones disappeared. And by morning, the industry was buzzing with half-truths, denials, and suspicious silence. No official confirmation came. No immediate refutation either. Sukai's agency declined comment. Songyun's schedule was abruptly adjusted, and fans noticed something chillingly specific. Neither denied it. Social media erupted anyway. Clips from unrelated events were reanalyzed. Past interviews resurfaced. Fans pointed out moments that once seemed insignificant, shared glances, mirrored gestures, oddly timed absences. Suddenly, a pattern appeared where coincidence once lived. In the United States, K-drama forums exploded with theories. In Asia, fan accounts went silent, then loud, then divided. But the most unsettling detail came days later. A source close to the production team of an upcoming project revealed that Sukai had quietly requested a contract adjustment weeks earlier, one that would allow extended personal leave. At the time, it made no sense. Now it feels deliberate. Tan Songyun, meanwhile, was seen leaving a private residence late at night, face uncovered, expression unguarded. She did not look like someone hiding. She looked like someone preparing. Still, questions remain unanswered. Was this meant to be public? Was the silence strategic or protective? And why? If it wasn't real, does everyone involved seem to be moving as though something irreversible has already happened? What fans can't shake is this. Whatever unfolded that night was not for attention. It was not for headlines. And that, more than any rumor, is what makes it terrifyingly believable. Because real moments don't announce themselves. They leave traces and let the world catch up later. What unsettled fans the most wasn't the rumor proposal itself. It was what followed. The silence didn't break. It thickened. Hours turned into days, and still no statement came. In an industry where denial is usually faster than truth, the absence of clarification felt deliberate. Entertainment reporters reached out to insiders, stylists, assistants, anyone who might whisper confirmation or contradiction. Instead, doors closed. Messages went unread. And those who did respond spoke only in fragments, as if bound by something more powerful than contracts. Then came the first crack. A short, seemingly harmless clip surfaced online, just 3 seconds long. Soo Kai stepping out of a private elevator, pausing when he realized he was being watched, and doing something fans had never seen before. He smiled, but not at the camera. He smiled down softly, as if replaying a memory no one else could see. The clip went viral in the United States within hours. Comment sections exploded. This wasn't the smile of a man acting. It was the smile of someone holding a secret too heavy to hide. Almost immediately after, Tan Songyun canceled a public appearance she had confirmed weeks earlier. No reason given. No reschedule announced. For fans who had followed her career closely, this was unprecedented. She was known for professionalism, for showing up even when exhausted. This time, she disappeared completely. Behind the scenes, things were shifting. A source close to a luxury jewelry brand revealed that a custom order, placed months earlier under a proxy name, had been quietly finalized and delivered. The design? Minimal, elegant, timeless, not something chosen on impulse. Fans began connecting dots they were never meant to see. Timelines aligned too perfectly. Intentions felt too clear. But the most dramatic moment came when an old interview resurfaced. In it, Soo Kai was asked a question that once seemed casual. Would you ever propose without telling anyone first? At the time, he laughed and said, some moments don't belong to the world. Back then, it sounded poetic. Now, it sounded like a warning. International fan bases split into factions. Some demanded confirmation. Others begged for privacy. And a third group, quiet but growing, believed something deeper was unfolding. That this wasn't about publicity, but about two people choosing to step beyond the rules that had defined them for years. Then, late one night, Tan Songyun was spotted again. No red carpet, no security wall. Just her, stepping into a car outside a familiar residence. She looked calm, centered, not like someone caught in scandal, but like someone who had already made peace with her choice. The next morning, fans noticed something chillingly subtle. She had archived several old posts. Not deleted, archived, as if closing a chapter without erasing it. Soo Kai followed suit days later, adjusting his public schedule and declining an overseas offer that would have kept him away for months. Industry insiders called it career suicide. Fans called it devotion. Still, no announcement came. And that's what made the story impossible to ignore. Because in a world built on exposure, choosing silence is the loudest statement of all. Whatever happened that night was never meant to be consumed. It was meant to be lived. And now, the world is standing at the edge of a truth it may not be invited into. Fans are left with questions that refuse to settle. Was this the beginning of something permanent? Or the last private moment before everything changes? Was the proposal real, or simply the most convincing illusion ever witnessed? And if it was real, why does it feel like the most important part of the story hasn't been revealed yet? One thing is certain. This is no longer just a rumor. It's a slow-burning reality, unfolding in real time, and every silence, every canceled appearance, every unread message is pulling fans deeper into the mystery. And the closer the truth gets, the more dangerous it feels. Because some love stories don't ask for permission. They simply happen, and let the world deal with the aftermath. Backhand index point right. If you want the full truth as this story continues to unfold, stay right here on K-Drama Spark. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and don't miss what comes next, because the next reveal may change everything. Broken Heart Fire.